Those empires in 1560 were. It was the Spanish, the French, because the
remember,
Germans.
we still haven't talked about the Chinese
No
or
one
before them.
includes those in history because for some reason we just forget they exist for 5,000 years.
Yeah, and
No, but I'm saying where the European powers were in 1560.
that is correct.
That's where all the money was. The global currency, as the Europeans knew, who they owned the Indian Ocean. They owned all of the African nations, like
America, Mexico, Caribbean, and Peru.
Yeah, but remember also, there will not be an uprising in America. Where do you think, like, it has been theorized that it will come from one class, and it is
one global standard.
Well, one class, and it has always been theorized that it would come from the middle class. It will not come from the lower class, and it will not come from the upper class. It will come from the middle class, and if, as Republic was saying, we're seeing it in real time because we're watching the middle class shrink, and it's like the first time ever that children have less than their parents. So yes, it is in real time, but depending on how those world powers work and how they distribute money is how quick or how slow it would go.
I think they're intentionally.
I estimate collapse in 50 years or less.
I think they're intentionally trying to collapse it to regain power.
I do too.
You know, it's the same. Right. It's the same tactics of Stalin and the H guy. You know, the same tactics.
Actually, the H guy didn't do anything. He actually increased their market capital by removing a specific thing of people and cutting out interest and making a lot of social reforms. But again, he did it at the end, ironically.
Their fucking income by 12. He increased so the H men increased their fucking income by 12-fold.
Yeah,
right,
they
built
a whole military in 4 years. Yeah, they were powerhouse. You know why?
And it almost took the world.
He got rid of interest.
And he told everybody
it was brilliant. I'm not gonna lie. Germany really, if not to be demolished, but if it would have worked, Germany would have took over the world. And that's
well, if it would have worked in the sense that everyone got to be autonomous and respected, sure. The economy only works. They were burning the Reichmark because they couldn't afford, because it was worth nothing. Because World War I put them in such debt. For war wasn't their fault.
They have 4 million motherfuckers in free labor, so like that helped them.
Yeah, that also helps too, right?
That helped a lot of you're building people for 4 million motherfuckers to build all your shit for free.
Yeah, the indentured servitude over there doesn't take away from the
United States used the same playbook.
Well, they sure did. They abolished slavery, but they allowed it in prisons.
Correct. They used the same playbook.
Not the same
They still
playbook.
use
They were the.
using the same.
They're not
right now.
I think that's inhumane. I think
they were the playbook.
Well, also,
So
to
if
be
you
fair,
never thought about
they
it,
just came here after the war.
Mass deportation.
America really did.
They were trying to get these people and ship them out.
if you never thought about it,
Now, and even
with the mass deportations, which you thought that they were trying to get these people and ship them out, but what they end up doing now, and even talking and putting it in position, is that they're actually making facilities for these people to be held in, right? And we put you in a camp, and now we have you pretty much, you know what I'm saying, in your own little station where we can now send you to every place that we need you to work for. And
Hey, Republic, what does that sound like to you? Where in history have you heard that from?
Sounds like Florida to me.
I've heard many countries do that over the course of the last 1,000 years. And it's crazy how it's like, oh, we're doing it again. Huh?
You know, we see it around our farms here in Florida, and here recently, a lot of those places have become abandoned, and I guess they stay amongst us in other places now.
I tried to
Hey,
mention
have
that
any-
to Miss SKS, and she would not believe me to save my life. I kept telling her you can ride up the coast, down the coast in Florida, and half of these farms are closed.
Hey, you can actually watch. You can watch a. There's a documentary about the Alabama prison system, and it literally documents how they put these prisoners out in the community to do these jobs, and they pay them like 25 cents an hour, and they won't give them parole. I can't remember the name of the documentary, but if any of you guys come across it, it is awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy. Did prison reform, increase the economy because we're another worker? No, God forbid we fix that, right?
Oh, well, they're doing it.
Increase the economy because we're another worker? No, God forbid we fix that, right?
Oh, well,
they
they're
don't-
doing it. They're doing it.
I
They're
mean,
doing it
God
in white
forbid,
states.
that's what's. I mean, God forbid, that's what's going on right now
Like,
in
not
front
even
of
having
your
prison,
face.
just like,
Just
hey,
think.
look, you're in a bad spot. We're going to send you to a trade school. We'll pay for it. It's on us.
But they're
Repay
doing
society
it.
by
But they're
building a
doing.
business.
But they're doing it for criminals in YT
Bro,
states.
okay,
That
so
have,
in Florida,
serious
as soon as I got to the reception center, they asked me what was my job history, what was my background, what I knew, what type of trade did I want to go to school for. That's what they asked me as soon as I get there. Based on your answers, depending on what camp they're going to send you to. They're giving people trades in high masses and giving them certifications. Don't think that this isn't happening, because it is. How do you think a lot of these guys get out with skills and into the workforce? Because the system has learned long ago that they get more reward by hiring ex-convicts at a lower rate than they will hire somebody that hasn't been to prison. That's what rewards capitalism.
You know what though?
That's-
You're missing the point of what I'm saying. I'm saying that they're doing that right now in the prison system, but they are not letting them out in the world. They are not. They're keeping them in prison. They're keeping them from going to their hearings to get out of prison. They literally will, and you know how like for some of the charges.
That does happen. I know what you're talking about. That does happen.
In places like Alabama and places like Louisiana, it does happen because those places are still living in a dystopian plantation. They're keeping people enslaved so they can receive cheap labor. They don't have to pay for regular labor.
Tony, we're up in Chicago, and in one of the jails here. I don't know what the heck that noise is. That's not me.
That's chips.
Oh. Yeah, in one of the jails
I'm
here.
outside. My dog's playing toys.
One of our jails in downtown Chicago, they have a freaking pizza place where they make pizzas and put them out in the community. If that tells you anything. And those prisoners don't get any of that money. They may get like a nickel an hour or something.
I'll be back later on.
They actually are paying. They are actually paying inmates, and they're paying and the inmates are paying taxes. They're paying rent. They are literally being citizens inside of the prisons
with no autonomy.
Right.
Yes.
And that's modern. That's what modern day slavery looks like. And that's why it's bad that we're having these bullshit culture wars about senseless things that don't move our everyday lives, when we have things like this happen in our society that aren't garnishing the attention that they need. They really aren't.
So,
and you know what? You know who the biggest advocate is against legalizing the wacky lettuce?
The wacky lettuce.
Do you know who the biggest
Gardner?
Morgan and Morgan?
No, it's actually the prison guards union.
The tobacco farmers?
Because when you can put people in prison for minor crimes like that, it's easier for them to keep them in. It just keeps them in prison, gives them labor there. And how much do they pay for a prisoner per year? I think we pay like $38,000 a year for some weed. Yep.
I mean, hence the reason why DeSantis fought tooth and nail